I like to think that I know all the players because of what we do on a daily basis. I mean, we work with these players' names all the time in the back end of the site. Never heard of this guy.
No, I mean, so I don't want to overstate. I had not heard of him. I had literally seen his name.
Okay.
Like I had seen the name as an abstraction. Like Sunday morning, if you had been like Zonovan Knight, what team does he play for? I'm like, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I'm not sure. Like I've seen the name. I could accurately say I've seen the name. Had no idea it was on the New York Jets. He led the Jets backfield after it was a big busy day in the Jets backfield. James Robinson was a healthy scratch, which gave Michael Carter some runway to maybe run that starter's job. We actually had a debate in like our Slack chat going. I was like, I don't know. I just don't think that they think he's good, or he might not be good. And then he had 6 carries for 21 yards. He goes out with supposedly a low-grade ankle sprain. And then Zonovan Knight, as he's known, 103 yards from scrimmage, 69 yards rushing. That's a total Michael Carter's better at only one time all season. And Ty Johnson also has a big day. I mean, what in the world do we tell the folks about the Jets' backfield?
Well, you're going to want whoever is getting the majority of the early down carries in this offense because the Jets have been run heavy since Joe Flacco was benched, or since he ceded the job to Zach Wilson. Their pass rate over expected is -3%, which is 19th in the league. So they are definitely run first. Robert Saleh seemed to have a lot of positive things to say about Knight, so I guess we're going with him. I mean, he's worth an ad if Michael Carter's ankle issue keeps him out a week or two.
So he's worth an ad even if it doesn't.
Yeah, no, he is either way. But I mean, like he's like a priority ad.
Yeah.
If we hear that Carter is not practicing or that the team says we're not sure about this week, I think he becomes very like a very solid touch-based RB 2-3-ish type option.
Because I think it was the best rushing performance by a Jets running back all year who not named Breece Hall probably. And this was against a very bad defense, a very bad Bears defense in a game the Jets totally controlled. So you don't want to go overboard, but we're not inferring too much to say the Jets were not happy with James Robinson, who they healthy scratched. They have not really been happy with Michael Carter all season. I mean,
no.
Maybe they think he's a good player, but they just cannot find a role that they're satisfied with for him. And it's clearly not enamored with him being like the 1A back in their committee. And maybe by default, he will remain the 1A back just because has the most versatile all-around skill set. He has the most experience of the non-James Robinson backs. But yeah, I mean, this is a situation where I would feel very comfortable kind of leaning into the uncertainty and feeling very good about taking a Zonovan Knight flyer. Maybe it doesn't go anywhere. But I would feel very, very good. It's kind of like the classic vacuum situation where we don't really know what's going on with the Jets backfield. He's extremely cheap. People still aren't going to be breaking the bank with their fab budgets for Zonovan Knight. I would take a flyer. I would also take a flyer on Ty Johnson, who basically is kind of like a J.D. McKissick. Anytime he gets an opportunity, he catches 5 passes. Anytime he's involved in the game plan. So yeah, I would happily take a flyer on both Jets running backs.
Yeah, Ty Johnson is somewhat interesting. Because like you said, he's going to get most of that pass catching work, and that definitely dings Zonovan Knight's upside.
Who we've heard of.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually looking for the Jets route running data from yesterday. So yeah, we have Michael Carter ran only 10 routes before he left the game, and then Ty Johnson led the backfield with routes after that. Although Zonovan Knight did see 3 targets to 2 targets for Ty Johnson, so maybe I'm overstating that a little bit. But yeah, I think both Jets running backs should be claimed this week.
And it seems like if Michael Carter misses the game, we're pretty sure I guess James Robinson will be active. But if they had Zonovan Knight and Ty Johnson up over James Robinson on Sunday, I don't think James Robinson's going to miraculously claim number 1 duties again.
That's right. Yeah, I wanted to mention when a team makes this kind of move, which was somewhat shocking.
It was. He hasn't been good, but it was very surprising.
Yeah, and so we were all taken. We were all caught off guard by that. We have to pay attention to that, and so I don't think that there's any real reason to say, yeah, you know what, they're going to go back to James Robinson like that. That's a pretty dramatic thing to healthy scratch a guy and give significant snaps and touches to a guy no one's heard of.
Yeah, and they asked Robert Saleh afterwards why he was healthy scratched, and he said running style, I believe.
Yes.
So not very happy with James Ryan. You know, they could have maybe researched this a little more before they made a trade. And last I checked, there were some good running backs like Kareem Hunt available. So we digress. We might as well just stick with the Jets, Denny, where Mike White, one of the stories of Week 13, instantly makes Zach Wilson, speaking of plumbers, look like a plumber. I mean, that's not supposed to be offensive. This is true. It made him look like a plumber trying to play quarterback. Mike White took advantage and more of, again, it's one of the best matchups you're ever going to get in the Chicago. But the Minnesota Vikings are a really, really, really good quarterback matchup too. I believe they allow the third most passing yards in the league. They allowed, I think, the sixth most quarterback fantasy points. So Mike White, we know it's like nowhere close to case closed with Mike White, like if he's a good NFL quarterback. But he took advantage of a good matchup. He has another really, really good matchup for Week 13. What are we thinking about Mike White as a streamer or maybe an ad on waivers?
I mean, Mike White was really efficient and accurate, and I know the matchup. I understand. Like, the Bears are bad when they're at full health, and yesterday they were missing two key defenders in the secondary, their safety and their cornerback. So really down bad. I get that. But Mike White was fifth among all quarterbacks in Week 12 in completion rate over expected. Zach Wilson, no matter who they played, was continually in the bottom 2 or 3 every single week in that category. I think Mike White, importantly, just for fantasy purposes, he unlocks Garrett Wilson. Because my theory is, Pat, literally anyone unlocks Garrett Wilson except for Zach Wilson. Okay, like if Nathan Peterman were on the Jets, he would unlock Garrett Wilson. Okay, I'm just saying.
We've already had used the word thrust a bunch this show. We have to start saying stuff about Nathan Peterman.
I would like to see it. I would like to see, is Peterman worse than Zach Wilson? I don't know. So as long as Mike White has his job, Garrett Wilson is a wide receiver 2, based on volume, based on routes, based on efficiency with his targets. By the way, the Vikings are a pass funnel. I don't think it's going to come as easy every week for Mike White, but he's certainly a streamer.
And so he popped in the boomer stats. He popped in the non-boomer stats. So Mike White in 4 career starts has twice posted a QB rating above 100. Zach Wilson has done that one time ever in 20 NFL starts. Mike White posted a better EPA per drop back yesterday than Zach Wilson ever has on a start.
Wow.
He's just kind of one of these ridiculous stats, but from ESPN's Rich Cimini, Mike White became the first quarterback in NFL history to have multiple games with at least a 75 completion percentage, 300 pass yards, and 3 touchdowns within his first 4 starts. So the guy can play a little ball, and the Minnesota Vikings let you play a little ball if you're a quarterback. So
really, like, not an intimidating defense at all from a passing game standpoint.
Would you rather, off the top of your head, stream Jordan Love against the Bears or Mike White against the Vikings?
Yeah, I actually think as fantasy players, if we are streaming quarterback, we have to target the Bears. Yeah, so I would go with Love.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and Rotoworld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from Rotoworld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.